right, well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for our first virtual conference. And we're excited to have you all here with us over the next couple of days. We have multiple great speakers with us for this period, and we're very excited. As you all know, COVID-19, its consequential economic crisis, calls for racial equity. And also our climate crisis is demanding that we not only restore our economy, but completely rebuild it for the better. This rebuilding needs to occur at the community level, at the associational level, and at the institutional level, which includes local and independent businesses. Local independent businesses are critical to our local economy. Thriving independent businesses provide communities with equitable incomes, stronger community cohesion and well-being, improved environmental sustainability, and stronger civic connections. Government disinterest, mega corporations, and lack of consumer awareness of the impact of their choices work against local business communities. Right now, due to COVID-19, increasing calls for social and racial equity, climate action, we must change that equation. We're now faced with an unprecedented opportunity to not only change our systems, but to build new ones with local business, equity, and climate resilience at the center. These factors are important for us to stay motivated and keep the movement alive. We must work together. There's strength in numbers. It's why we need to remain in community and stay networked with organizations such as ILSR, the American Booksellers Association, the American Sustainable Business Council, and all of 60 of our IBAs across the country spread throughout 24 states. We're here for peer support and advocacy. Right now, our crises call for us to be innovative, to think outside the box. We must move from commitments to real sustainable results. For almost 20 years, AMIBA has worked to build a strong local economy by catalyzing and supporting local business alliances and networks. AMIBA is now entering a new phase in AMIBA's evolution as the new local economy movement unfolds and is transformed. AMIBA is establishing a new vision with renewed energy that is bringing together the top local business networks. Many of them were originally a part of Valley and AMIBA affiliates as well as other unaffiliated groups. The new version of AMIBA is fully prepared and poised to take our movement to the next level. The mission of AMIBA is to build a strong local economy movement by supporting the growth and development of local business alliances and networks that are committed to these following objectives: supporting local independent businesses and growing and thriving, building a strong local economy that is diverse, inclusive, and equitable, working to mitigate climate change and adapt to the damage brought on by global warming. AMIBA is one of the only national organizations of local and independent businesses that has a purpose of creating a strong economy that is local, sustainable, and equitable. AMIBA has a long history of founding and supporting local business alliances, and our value proposition is manifested in the work of our board, our staff, our affiliated alliances, and our partners. So over 20 years, AMIBA, the IBAs, and our expansive networks has allowed us to do a few things. One is learn how to effectively support local independent businesses in your community and or state by building a strong independent business alliance. Two is connecting with the local economy community of IBA leaders and local economy activists. We've been effective in creating buy local campaigns. AMIBA and our alliances have helped the terms buy local and local first become common language across the United States. One thing that we have learned is we expand our IBAs by collaborating with other local economy nonprofits, consultants, and businesses. We organized a conference back in March in Madison, Wisconsin that we were to do in person. And this event, these annual conferences, is really the one time a year that our IBAs and our networks are able to come out of our silos and join together from all over the country to build on what we envision a local economy to be. We all know that small businesses and local independent business owners and entrepreneurs are really the backbone of the US economy. And with COVID-19, there's never been a hyper awareness of the impact that local businesses not only has on our economy, but also on our well-being and on our community. So I welcome all of you, and I want to thank the AMIBA Conference Committee, and I want to thank Darren Peterson with Common Good Collective for running the logistics of this event. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to have many speakers that will talk about this value proposition that we're bringing to the table. I've always felt, as executive director of AMIBA, a year into my job, I started here July 2019. I've been on the board for 4 years or so, but this is really the time for us to come together to figure out what we can do as a community that we cannot do alone. And so I really thank you all for attending today, and I'm really excited about the content that we will share with you throughout this process. One of the things I want to mention, just as a technical disclaimer, is that we're going to be cutting off our chat boxes during the speakers, but we will bring the chat boxes back on during the breakout sessions. So your participation is really a part of our learning for the next couple of days. And so I'll close there. And what I want to do next is I want to share a poem with you all that I think is very valuable and very important. I'll read it a couple of times. It's called The Invitation. I will also share this poem in the chat box after I complete reading it. The title of this poem is called The Invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you could sit with pain, mine as a Black man, or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you could dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful. Be realistic. Remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or who you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else fails away. I want to know if you could be alone with yourself, and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments.